I typically have the podcast, the ClayCo Till I Die. We're in Augusta right now. We are not in Clayton County. We are in the hometown of Malcolm, the Machine Wellmaker. Yes, we're having a conversation. I don't want to ask you necessarily questions that you've already answered. Mm-hmm. People can check out your social media. They can check out, you've been interviewed by Ariel Helwani twice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
That's crazy. I just very, very briefly, give us a little bit of background, and then I'm gonna touch on some things that other people haven't asked you.
Okay. So background, Augusta, Georgia, born and raised, similar story to you. You've been in ClayCo all your life, right? Yep. I've been in Augusta all my life, got my area code tattooed on me. I did not grow up with really any athletic background at all. I played like little league basketball up until like 5th grade, and then I stopped playing sports completely. So after high school, which during school I was a problem child a little bit, in and out of trouble. But after high school, I go to Georgia Southern, unsuccessfully, I walk away with no degree, bunch of that, stuff like that. Come back to Augusta, no direction, do not know what I want to do. So I start working at a call center, and I'm doing groceries and bagging groceries and stuff at Food Line. So I end up leaving those 2 jobs and going to work at John Deere for a week. And then after that first week, I get a phone call to go and be a pipe fitter apprentice, right? So I go to be a pipe fitter apprentice, and I'm working in the trade, making a little bit decent money, drinking beer like the rest of the guys, eating good meals like the rest of the guys. And the kid that used to be skinny all his life gets a little bit of belly on him. Face gets a little chunky. And so I asked a couple of the guys on the job site that was in shape. I was like, man, I want to get in shape. And they was like, you should try MMA instead of going just to lift. You can learn to defend yourself. You'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it. And maybe even get in a competition, which I did not think I was going to do. And so one thing leads to another. I try MMA. Fall in love with, the things I'm finding out about myself. I go from being a little chunky to being in shape. My coach asked me, hey man, you getting better. Do you want to try a kickboxing match? And I try a kickboxing match, get a TKO. And I do another kickboxing match a month later, get another TKO. And I'm just like, I'm rolling. And then these kickboxing matches turn into MMA competition, which turn into amateur titles in 125, 135, Florida, South Carolina, Georgia. Like I'm racking it up. And then I make a pro debut. And then in Augusta, and right after my pro debut, I get a phone call to fight on UFC Fight Pass with Jorge Masvidal. Get a viral knockout, got picked up by management, and it's been a rocket ship ever since. So here I am today. I had 7 months in the UFC, starting in April this year. I was able to quit my full-time job and ended the year by fighting at Madison Square Garden.
Bro, that's crazy.
Insane, brother.
Okay, back up for a second.
Yep.
Let's talk about Augusta.
Okay.
So Augusta is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's in Georgia and South Carolina, correct? Or is it like there's Augusta and then North Augusta or something like that? Break it down.
Exactly. So So Augusta and North Augusta are separate. I mean, they're much closer and smaller than the whole of Atlanta, right? But parts of North Augusta cross the bridge to go into South Carolina. So literally from where we're at right now, we could be in South Carolina in less than 20 minutes. Yeah.
Got it. And so what's it like? Well, back that. Let me scratch that. You don't hide from your faith and your religion at all.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
But it's not something that I have seen really put out there a ton other than your personal stuff.
Right.
So talk to me about like, what's it like being a Muslim fighter in the UFC? What's it like being a Muslim fighter that's not Eastern European? Because, you got the Dagestani guys in Russia. You got, the Georgians and stuff like that. So what's it like being an American Muslim fighter, and how did that come about? Like, is that how you were raised, or did you pick it up later in life, or how did that come about?
So brother, this is actually a really funny story. So my dad passed away from cancer when I was like 3 years old, right?
Wow.
But my dad was a Muslim, but he was Nation of Islam Muslim.
Okay.
Right? So Nation of Islam Muslim and like, regular Muslims are incredibly different. They have major different beliefs.
Right.
But the biggest thing about Nation of Islam is that, it's mostly rooted in the Black community, and it believes in the separation of black and white people rather than the integration of them. Malcolm X originally was Nation of Islam, so on and so forth. But again, I didn't grow up with my father having that influence on me.
Sure.
But like, man, I've heard so many funny stories about him, like, in South Augusta handing out pamphlets on Lumpkin Road, and like even like him and my uncle having like altercations with police officers during rallies and like going to jail. Like my dad apparently was like somebody that was like, he was he was a strong figure in the black community for Nation of Islam.
Before you finish, so this is how small the world is. One of my law school classmates, huge, big time basketball hooper. His dad is H. Rap Brown.
Really?
Like the dude from the West Side, West End. Yeah. Like I went to law school with H. Rap Brown's son. His name is Kyrie.
Bro, that is wow, small world.
Super small.
Dang.
So I bet your family has had
in some way,
interactions.
shape, or form, they know each other. Yeah,
correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah. So that was something funny that I really didn't know too much about.
Yeah.
But anyway, I grew up pretty typical for like, granddaddy was in the church, black church. They raise hymns, we go and we eat chitlins and stuff like that, stuff like that. But I was never like really, involved to the point that I knew what was going on or understood the faith that well.
Right.
He passed away in my early 20s.
Wow.
After that, I didn't really continue to go to church or anything like that because he was the only reason I was going.
Right.
But anyway, later in life, it was actually before I got signed to the UFC, I was already 30 years old, and I was talking to my now wife, now Muslim wife, right, about how I knew that if I get into the UFC, my career was only going to be like 4 up to maybe 8 years on the high end, and after that, like, I wanted to still have fulfillment. I wanted to be complete. I didn't want my purpose to rely on my career or any other kind of like worldly, things. And, all the men that I looked up to because of my lack of a father just so happened to be like strong religious men. Like Pops, the guy that started this gym, is very strong religious. A lot of guys I met in the trade was like, they always wore their crosses and they always talked about God, this and God, that. And I told my wife, I was like, well, my girlfriend at the time, I told her like, I want to be religious. Like, it helped me be the man I want to be. It helped me be able to commit to a relationship. It helped me want to have a family. It helped me want to live right, be a good example, control my temper, like stuff like that. And, she started asking, well, like, why not Christianity, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, telling her that, like, I just didn't feel like this pull on my heart to be Christian and like kind of return to the things that I was in when I was younger. And so she was like, you should try other religions. So she sent me short form videos on different religions. It was like Buddhism, Hindu, Islam. And it was a 20-minute video with bobblehead cartoons on Islam.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I heard like these things about like how they believed in Jesus, which I didn't even know, that he was a prophet rather than, God himself. Just all these different small things about their theology that was so interesting to me that I was like, man, I want to read the Quran. So I bought a Quran off Amazon, started reading it, and man, I mean, like every moment I had, I get home from work and before training, I sit down and I'm just reading it, like learning all this new stuff about the religion. That was so cool to me. And I'm watching lectures on the way to and from work every day because, I drive 30, 45 minutes to work every day. So I'm listening to these lectures, listening to these debates, and I'm like, man, this is cool, man. I really enjoyed the information to take on right and wrong, all those things like that was new to me. I started feeling that pull on my heart. I was talking about I wanted to feel. And so anyway, it's actually during Ramadan of 2024 at the time that I start to want to go to the local mosque and meet the actual brotherhood. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's scary because I don't know any Muslims.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I am me by myself going to see Arabs in a mosque and don't know what to expect. So I go on their website and I find like 3 different phone numbers. Like, if you're interested in Islam, call this number. Or if you want to talk to the imam, call this number. Bro, I called those numbers for like a week and nobody ever picked up any phone call.
Dang.
Yeah, I know. So it was a Saturday after I finished a lift in the morning, and I'm on the way home, and the mosque is like 5 minutes from my house. So I stopped by the mosque. I'm like, man, I'm gonna just walk in. And I walk in and I see nobody, and the lights are dimmed too. And I'm like, this is kind of weird, right? Nobody's sitting at a desk, nobody for me to talk to. And I walk up to the actual prayer hall and I look through the doors, and there's people in sleeping bags, like laying on the floor, dead asleep. And I was like, Nah, I was like, nah, bro. And then again, like, bro, I do not know anybody in here. It's Ramadan, they fasting. Like, I was like, nah, this ain't for me. So I walk out and I'm getting ready to leave the parking lot. And I'm like, let me go knock on the doors, bro. Like, I gotta know. Cause like, bro, for like past 2 months, like all I've been doing is reading about this religion, listening to these lectures. So I walk back in and I walk up to the doors and I knock on them. Don't nobody move an inch, bro. I mean, they are dead asleep. And I was like, all right, I tried. Maybe it's not meant for me. And as I go to the parking lot to leave, a lady in a minivan pulls up and her son is one of the kids inside the mosque sleeping, you know? So she's like, hey, what can I do for you? Can I help you? And then she goes in, she gets her son asking me like, you know, what is it you're looking for? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, I know the guy that you need to talk to. The guy I need to talk to just so happened to pull up. Imam named Ahmed Muhammad. Okay. There's like 10 Ahmed Muhammads I've met since then.
Yeah.
And me and him, we walk around the courtyard for like 20, 30 minutes. And he invited me back to break their fast that evening. You know, they do a feast every evening during Ramadan. And I was nervous as could be to come back, you know. And I ended up coming back that evening. And when I walked in, man, it was so many people from Pakistan, Iran, you know what I mean? There were people from Africa. There were white people. There were Chinese people in there. You know what I mean?
That's
and
crazy.
They all hugged me, you know, asked me questions, was trying to answer any questions that I had, was excited to eat with me, was excited to bring me into the prayer hall and show me how to wash and make salah. And it was just such a welcoming and loving experience, which was like really the final piece that I needed to feel like it was something I wanted to commit to. And since then, brother, it's changed my life and who I am so many ways, in such a positive way. My wife decided to become Muslim when she saw the way that it changed me. And she's known about Islam for a long time and she never was Muslim, but like she saw the way it impacted me and then was like, hey, I got some questions. Can you put me in contact with a sister at the mosque? So I get a number for a lady at the mosque. She asked her questions. She like, I think I'm gonna take Shahada. I think I'm gonna become Muslim. And like, I was like, okay. Like, I wasn't like, oh, really? Like, when, you know, because I didn't want her to feel like I was pushing her into it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And she come back again the following week and was like, hey, tonight I'm going to take my Shahada. I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. So like, we went to the mosque. She took Shahada. She became Muslim. Islam is the reason I married her. Like, brother, I was. I'm not gonna say I was content with just being in a relationship. I mean, but like, I wasn't ready as a man to commit to a marriage, right? But in Islam, you're supposed to marry your girl. You're not supposed to date freely, right? And when that became, you know, a part of the life that I was supposed to live, like, I did it for the sake of my religion. And brother, my life has changed so much better since I did. You know, we have a beautiful family. Got a child now. The mosque loves our family, brother. Like, even, bro, we had a wedding. It was before I was in the UFC. And when we went to the counseling with a brother and sister from the mosque, they was asking like any objections or problems we had to help us try to talk through them. You know what I mean? And I was like, bro, I'm broke. I can't afford a wedding. You know what I mean? And they was like, they stopped me right there. They was like, listen, concerns for financial ability to have a wedding, stop now. And it was like, the community in Islam is the most charitable, generous community you'll ever find. It was like, if you want to have a wedding, you have nothing more to do than just tell us that, and we'll take care of the rest. And like, that hurt my pride as a man. You know,
for sure. You be like, hey, I want to provide. I want to be that. It's on me.
But of course, still, again, for the sake of my religion, I want to get married, right? So we went to the courthouse on February 14th to get married, and 2 weeks later, the brothers and sisters hosted our wedding, our nikah ceremony at the mosque. Brother, they had 20, 30 tables, all dressed with flowers. They had like the arch with the flowers at the front. They had the ladies come and cook and make so many dishes for us. They hosted it. They spoke for us. Brother, they did so much. They had a cake, bro. They had, brother, we went home thousands of dollars worth of gifts and gift cards. You know what I mean? And these people from the mosque barely know me. I've been Muslim for 3 months. You know what I mean? And you know, just like things like that, man, just to see the way they treated me, the character that they pride themselves on, like that is like what I love so much about being Muslim. And to bridge into what my experience is like being a black fighter in the UFC that's Muslim, right? It's actually kind of weird. Like, just being transparent with you.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, I don't, like you said, like, I don't wear like a kufi everywhere. I don't wear a thobe everywhere, but I am Muslim. I don't hide it at all.
Correct.
But like, you get like adverse reactions. Like some people, when they find out I'm Muslim, like they're in the comments, alhamdulillah, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then some of the people, when they see like anything on my timeline that has like, that shows that I am Muslim and they might not have known, like it becomes like a war zone for like, you know, the Trinity versus Islam. And I'm like, that's not what my intention is, to separate or divide people. And it's like, it can be taken in different ways. Like I will say, like, when I do see another fighter that's Muslim, if I give him salam, like that's my way in. Like, you know what I mean? I can say, Assalamu alaikum, bro, and I'll flip. Like, I gotta step in the door. So that's always super fun, because I love hitting a lot of the fighters from different places in the world with it, because a lot of them didn't know I was Muslim. So when I hit them with that, like, they embrace me always. And that's like one thing that I love, like, that Islam and salam is like such a universal thing. Even if you're not Muslim, if you give a Muslim salam, like they usually initially like break that first barrier of ice, and like now it's so much more endearing of a interaction. So it's a mixed experience at, you know, my level of success with the UFC, because I feel like as much of a fighter as I am, I'm also a personality and like a person that people want to, you know, have somebody to watch and enjoy content from. And my religion can impact people positively or negatively depending on who it is. But I love it, man. I can't complain. The UFC works with so many Muslim athletes that, brother, they have, when you go to them to get dishes, they have a halal section. Right. Like, you know what I mean? So
that's dope.
It's incredible. They accommodate greatly, but Islam has changed my life in such a positive way.
That's dope, man. Describe for me in which scenario were you more anxious or nervous? Going, turning around and knocking on that door after you had kind of peeped the scenario, or your first UFC fight?
It's crazy, but they're very close. That's in the amount of nerves.
Because in 2024, like, you're already fighting. Like, you've been training for a minute. And to think that, you know, going into a fight against another human being that's going to try to hurt you brings you that very, like, same level of anxiety or fear as just knocking on a door.
That was scary, bro. Like, brother, I felt like an intruder. and again, bro, like, just knowing that these people have been fasting all day. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't, and I'm a random, like, and at that, like, brother, I'm a young black kid with like tattoos on all my arms and stuff like that.
How did you go dressed?
Bro, I just left the gym, so I had on like some loose sweatpants and like a baggy t-shirt. So I was pretty casual. But again, like, I was just going to get more information. I didn't plan on going to talk to the imam, you know what I mean? I just wanted to know, when should I come back to talk to an imam, so like I could, you know.
And they're like, right now.
Brother, like that was like, I feel like my hands were shaking as I was going to knock on the prayer hall doors. You know, I think they're very close in the amount of nerves. To be honest, bro, I probably was more nervous knocking on those doors. And I say that because when I walked out in Kansas City, bro, I was bouncing. I was, you know what I mean? I was nervous, but it was nerves I've dealt with before. And I enjoyed it. Was that
the Anthony Smith fight? Was that his last fight?
Yeah, it was. Okay. That's when I met him. Yeah, he was awesome. But yeah, so I had a good time. It was good nerves, but like, those nerves at that mosque, brother, I'm on property that I don't even know if I'm welcome at. You know what I mean?
I'm literally feeling it through you describing it.
It was scary, brother. It was scary. And when nobody moved, I was like, yeah, I don't belong here, bro. You know what I mean? And it's crazy to see, like, I go now, bro, the little kid, brother, the kids, every time they see me, I don't care how many pictures they got with me, they want another one. The kids run up to me, they're like, Brother Malcolm, can we get another picture? I'm like, of course we can. Like, those kids, they treat me like gold. And it's like, it's almost like, this is a funny story, but I read the autobiography of Mike Tyson, one of my favorite books ever. And he talks about when he made Hajj, he went to the Kaaba, and there's this black stone on the Kaaba.
I've seen the videos.
Right. And like, everybody wants to touch it. Everybody don't get to touch it. Bruh, thousands, tens of thousands of Muslims make Hajj every year, and some of them make it 10 times in life and never get close enough to touch the stone. But Mike Tyson, on his first time making Hajj, they say, it's Mike Tyson. They brought him up to the Kaaba. They was like, touch the stone, touch the stone. And he's looking around at all these people that's been pious their whole life, that's been fighting these struggles, some of them, this is the only time they'll ever be able to make Hajj. And like, they didn't get to touch the stone and he feels so unworthy, right? And like, sometimes, brother, I go to the mosque and like, these kids, bro, they have the Quran memorized. You know, they're 12-year-olds that know the Quran by heart, and they'll recite it in front of you, man. They know so much about the Prophet and his life, and like I can just see such this level of purity from them that I aspire to have, and they're looking up at me. You know what I mean?
It's like, it's just, I should be looking at you. Like, let me get a picture with you.
It's crazy. So like, you know, I almost have like a similar feeling that I feel like Mike Tyson described when like people put him on a pedestal because of this fame that came with fighting. Right. You know what I mean? But with that being said, I feel like it's been a test for me from God to see if with me given this opportunity, how will I use it? Will I stay humble? Will I make sure that I always shake hands, take pictures, sign everything I can, and know that this doesn't make me better than the person that's not doing it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So we've kind of talked a little bit about this, and it kind of goes back again to the cultural appropriation thing with me being a white dude, primarily with minority friends and the minority community. Right. I have several Muslim friends.
Okay.
One of my good friends is Syrian.
Okay.
And so he kind of put me on game.
Yep.
And then one of my other friends, she's Egyptian.
Okay. Okay.
So I know a little bit, like I know this is how I learn, right? Inshallah.
Yep.
That means in the future.
Right.
So inshallah, I associate it with, I say inshallah for in the future.
Yep.
So you get a fight coming up, you get another first round knockout, inshallah.
Inshallah, brother. Right? Inshallah. Yes,
Boom.
sir.
So that's how the in means in the future.
In the future, yep.
And so the alhamdulillah is something like, it's like, I'm thankful for it now. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I learned those things, man. And
that's what's up.
And I don't really put my religion out there either. I don't hide from it.
Of course.
But I actually came through to the church through my wife.
Okay.
Kind of similar to you, but except she was already in there. Like her granddad was a pastor. Her dad is like basically a pastor.
Wow. So they're strong in their belief.
Super strong. Right. And I didn't know Seventh-day Adventists. I thought all Mexicans were Catholic.
I kind of
you kind of think like Mexico, Catholicism, right? No, dude, there's more Seventh-day Adventists than there are Mormons.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I really haven't heard too much about Seventh-day, what is it,
Adventists?
Yeah, I haven't heard too much about them.
It's super similar to Islam.
Oh,
like,
really?
Super similar. We don't eat pork. Like it has to be halal or kosher.
And that's what your denomination is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, basically think like all the rules of the Old Testament in Leviticus. Yeah. No pork, no seafood that doesn't meet these requirements. Right. No smoking, no drinking.
Wow.
Like all of those things are very similar. The difference is, the biggest difference is still believe Jesus is the prophet, right? It doesn't go so far as getting to Muhammad.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like from Friday nighttime, sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, that's the day of rest.
Really?
So people don't contact me sundown Friday to sundown Saturday.
Wow.
I don't conduct any business.
That's crazy.
Not only do I not conduct business, but I try to keep it's like
your firm like that.
My firm, nobody from the firm, to the best of my ability. Right.
Of course.
If a client needs us, they need us. Right. But yeah, bro, like not my. The Bible says not you, your family, your servant. Nobody that you're with is supposed to do anything. It's a day of rest.
Wow.
So for 24 hours, and I strongly believe, like I know that's what helped me get through law school and helped me pass the bar.
That's beautiful.
Because for 24 hours, I wouldn't study.
You get to reset.
I get to reset.
Yeah.
And I might wake up 6, 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning and get to it.
Right.
But from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday,
you are taking a break.
I'm taking a break.
That's good.
And we're not supposed to watch TV.
Right.
We're not supposed to, play video games. Right. It's supposed to really
be
like
a real disconnect.
A real disconnect and be one with God.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro.
And this is another thing too. Like, some people misunderstand this, but like, I'm in huge favor of not just like the Abrahamic faiths, right?
Right.
But faiths improving people's character and impact on society. Like that is that's my true, like, that was my whole pursuit. Like, I wanted to pursue religion to be a better person. I knew that if it was a religion that I was wholeheartedly invested in, it would really impact me internally. And Islam checked those boxes for me.
Right.
But whether it's Christianity, whether it's, you know, Judaism or Islam or Buddhism, whatever it is, like, brother, if it makes you a better person, if it makes you good to the people around you, I am in favor of it.
Yeah.
And I am the last person that is going to argue with you that your religion is wrong.
Right.
Because what I care about more than anything is that you are living right. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that, like, I hate is why when the comments become a war zone, like, you know what I mean? The division is not the thing. Right. And you don't win hearts with hate either.
Correct.
Ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want people to come to your religion, it's usually done out of love and showing them that it has impacted you in a way that they want to be.
For sure.
And with that being said, like, there has been people that are close to me that saw the way my religion impacted me and they wanted to know more.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful to me, you know? So that's how I feel.
And it goes back to a topic that I wanted to bring back up. You were looking for really structure and a framework.
100%.
Like you knew things, but like I have a theory, right? And I didn't expect to be talking about this, but I have a theory that there's kind of 3 phases in people's lives. Anyone under 21 is a dumbass.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Like you from 0 years to 21 years old, you have not lived enough life. You have not talked to enough people. You have not seen enough things. You literally just haven't, the clock hasn't ticked enough for you to know anything about the world.
You still learning every day.
Because the overwhelming majority of your life until you're 21 has been spent in school.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's not like you can just go wherever you want to. You were restricted in your life to wherever it is your parents tell you to be.
Right. Right. From
21 to around mid 30s, let's say 31, 32, you're a quasi dumbass.
Right? What would that mean? Quasi?
Like semi.
Okay,
you're a semi dumbass.
Yeah.
Because from 21 to your early 30s, you're out of school. You may be away from your home environment. You may be experiencing things. You may have done a little bit of traveling. You may be still at a higher level of education where you get some more diversity. You may be in a trade. You may be in a career.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You've the clock has ticked more and you've encountered more people. The more people you encounter, the more you learn.
The more wisdom you get.
The more wisdom you get, right?
Experience and all that.
Right. But you're still going to screw things up.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You're still going to screw things up. You're going to make mistakes. From around 32 on up, you're either a winner or a loser.
I love that phase. I love that part. 100%.
Because after about 32 years, now you have lived long enough. Enough people have told you, hello, salam. You've encountered, you've had enough nervous moments walking up to that door.
Yes.
You've had moments where you felt like an imposter, that you don't belong. You've had enough moments where you feel like an intruder. You felt uncomfortable. You felt brave. You felt discouraged. You felt like a fucking hero.
Yep.
Like you've had all of those experiences by the time you're 32.
Yep.
Now it's like you're either going to do something with it and make something of yourself.
Yes.
Or you're going to fail.
Yes.
That's kind of my theory on life.
That is genius. And I love that because it's funny, man. I look back, I think I was a dumbass up until like 23. You know what I mean?
Things vary.
The numbers change for everybody, right? And you have exceptions, of course.
It's a sliding scale.
But that's beautiful. Like, you know next to nothing that first chapter. That next chapter, you are learning and you do have a little bit of knowledge and experience and you can use it somewhat, but you're still far from wise. And in that third phase, that I 100% agree, because most of us have been given the opportunities to become who we're going to become. We've been given the tools for success. We've learned and fell enough times to know right from wrong. And either you are going to use it the right way or you're going to use it the wrong way. You are going to be content with what you have or you're going to pursue greatness. Like, and I 100% agree with that third phase. And it's kind of a heartbreaking reality too, because I say that to say, like, you can speak this too, right? I grew up alongside so many people I love dearly. And if you look at the second chapter of life, right? We did all that first chapter together. We all stupid. We all got in trouble, right?
Yep.
And in that second chapter, like these paths start converging, right? Like you can start seeing I'm using my knowledge a little bit differently than the knowledge that they using, right? And then in that third chapter, it's like, okay, I'll become who I am. And like, I see that they are still who they were in chapter 2, semi-chapter 1 as well. And it's like, I don't imagine that third chapter is going to hit at age 40, age 50, where they become a winner. I think that unfortunately they might be a loser, you know, and it's a heartbreaking reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Like I have had cases where people I went to high school with, that was the cool kids in high school.
Yep.
Strung out on drugs. Now they're in prison.
It's heartbreaking.
Like
bro.
I've seen it.
It's heartbreaking.
And I think back, like, bro, I put my middle school pictures on the internet. Like I was a goofy, big head white boy with super thick Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
And these people were like the cool kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, look at us now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's nothing. We went to the same schools.
Yep.
We lived in the same neighborhoods.
Yep.
We had the exact same teachers.
Yeah. You didn't have this huge opportunity gain over them.
Yeah. And and that's why I do the things in the community. That's why you want to do the things and you have been doing.
Correct.
And you and bro, it's not, honestly, it ain't even about the money that I spend.
Right.
It's the time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've experienced a little bit of what you experienced, and I got to tell people when I called you the one time, but I wear my shirt, right?
Yeah.
People have stopped me and said, "Can I get a picture?"
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking, like, me?
Yeah. I still feel that sometimes,
bro. I got to tell people. So I went to my middle school. They reopened the middle school. They renovated it, did a whole thing. People came up to me. It was not like, "Oh, you're Danny, you're the lawyer." They were like, "Oh, you know Malcolm."
Oh my goodness.
They didn't lead with anything about me.
That's so
They're
crazy.
Like, you were the guy that knows Malcolm Wellmaker.
Yeah.
That's how they let out, bro.
That's outrageous.
And I literally, when I got done with that, I texted Malcolm. I was like, "Bro, you ain't gonna believe this."
That's crazy.
I was like, they didn't give a damn about me.
That's wild.
We're 2 hours away. And they're like, "Oh, I know you because you're even remotely connected to Malcolm Wellmaker." Like when I told you that, bro, and I think you told me like you got in touch with that person, right? I was like, "Yo, he's super cool. Send me, I'll put you two in touch with each other." Right. How did that go?
So that's what I was about to say. So I reached out to the person that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I made like a short little video like, "Hey, my guy Danny said he met you and like he could see how excited you were. So I just want to reach out and say, hey, if you're a friend of Danny's, you're a friend of mine." Bro, they sent back a voice message. I could hear their voice shaking. Like no joke. I could hear their voice shaking and how much that video meant to them. And to have that kind of like impact on people, brother.
Yeah.
It's wild because you probably just like me that like, bro, I still feel like the same guy I was before anybody knew me. Like the same exact person. I still got that, like, for lack of better words, like the small-minded mentality. Like I don't feel like, you know what I mean? When you see me, you should be excited. No, like I'm a regular dude. If you are excited, it makes me feel good, you know? And that moment was crazy, brother. Like, everything you said was beyond true by the reaction that I saw. Yeah, for sure.
Like this young lady came up and she was shaking talking to me.
It was absurd.
Just because of you. And I was like,
brother.
"Yo, I got to tell Malcolm about this."
Yeah.
But going back a little bit, religion gives you that structure.
Absolutely.
That kind of like, hey, these are the guidelines in which to live.
Right.
And I believe that through religion, like you said, whatever it is, as long as you're not hurting nobody and you're being a better person, like you can really develop. And even though you say small-minded, it's like, it's not so much humble, because humble, if you look at the word humble, it's almost a disservice to what it really is. It's really just being like self-aware of, this is how other people see me, but I understand I'm no different than them.
Right.
It's just the platform is different.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Anybody with a platform that has people looking at everything they do, the person you are is going to come to light. You understand what I'm saying? So like if you have a horrible temper, if you behind closed doors, like say things that you wouldn't say out in public, eventually it's going to come out. Like, if you are arrogant, you cannot hide that forever. And my mama used to tell me this when I was a kid. She was like, what you do in the dark will come to light. I used to hate hearing it, brother. I used to hate it, but it's true. And so this is how I feel. Like, when it comes to me being in the public eye, bro, you can put me in any situation in a public space or in a private space, and I am confident that the way that I will handle it will still reflect the person that I want to be, because I am making sure I'm that person on camera, off camera, on platform, off platform. So if there's a fan that says the most wild, absurd thing to my face, or a comment that I read in my room by myself, I would like to think that I have the temperament, the forgiveness in my heart to know that this is a wild fan who probably don't have his mind about him. You know, maybe lost some money on me, like, right? And I like to challenge myself and not shy away from that stuff to be the person that I want to be.
So,
you know,
segue into the fight that you had in New York. Bro, I got rowdy on some people in the comment. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because they were DMing me.
Yeah.
So to set the stage, you know, we've got a brand endorsement deal with you, right?
Yep.
And then you had made a video making lighthearted
of course.
comedy about Armand's fight camp.
Yeah.
and so people took that. Bro, and this is how crazy that social media is. The second that you slip up and falter any bit, they were like, well, you should have spent that money on fight camp. You should have this. And then people were DMing me and were like, hey, you should be paying him more for the fight camps that he made fun of Armin for. I'm like, you can come down here and fight me.
Right.
Like, one of us is getting knocked out, but come and fight me.
Listen, bro. You have no idea how many of my friends and family I say, stop arguing with the people, bro, because listen, you're not gonna win.
I know.
I get where you're coming from, and it's so, brother, it's so heartbreaking to see how many people live for this. Like, brother, they are latching onto a moment to go and ruin somebody's day and feel like they have the right to, they have the authority of an opinion to do so. And it's just hateful, brother. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that video, brother, I was like, this is information everybody knows. Like,
correct.
On every platform they've talked about this, and I just used it as like a funny kickoff to get into our content.
Right.
And like people like demonize me for it. And it's just, I mean, obviously it wasn't taken that way by the majority, but there were plenty of people who took that opportunity to try to use it that way.
And then, you know, after the fight, first of all, I thought it was a damn good fight. I'm not saying that because we have a relationship.
Of course.
Like, I honestly believe, I'm not a professional, I think you had round one.
No, 100%.
I think you had round one. Well, for sure.
2 out of 3 judges gave me round one.
Right.
There was one judge that said I lost all 3.
That's crazy.
You know, it is what it is.
Because
they're human, they're not perfect.
You knocked old boy down.
Yes. So, you know, they're human, they're not perfect. It is what it is. Whatever they saw, they saw. But I confidently thought I won the first round during the fight and after the fight.
I did too.
And, you know, it's crazy for people to call it such a one-sided fight when there were many moments where he was obviously in danger.
Correct.
He was obviously in danger. Correct. And then, like, if you look at the numbers, bro, he outstruck me by like 10 strikes. Yeah. Maybe 10, 15 strikes.
And most of those were in the later rounds. It wasn't the first round.
And then they were like, these kind of shots. Brother, I'm swinging. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I was trying to kill him. And I'm not trying to take away from him. But, you know, it's just crazy that you can put on a performance that was so back and forth and a fight of the month.
Right.
In the UFC, they put on hundreds of fights a year, and they only have 12 fights of the month. Brother, I got fight of the month. I got that honor. Right. There's people who never get that their whole career, and people are saying I got smoked. People are saying I got, you know, fraud checked, and it's just the nature of the beast. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I don't want to get too much into things that you've already done, but let's talk about it for a second.
Yeah.
The narrative that the haters put out is that this dude beat you on 48 hours notice.
Correct.
Right? What they don't bother to talk about, this ain't some dude that was on the couch.
Yes, 100%.
He had just won a whole tournament.
Yeah.
The week before. It's not like he was just chilling and comes, you know, overweight, unprepared. Like, dude was actively fighting.
Yes.
Good on making weight.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, like your normal fight weight is 135.
Correct.
You fought at 145.
Yes.
Now, talk a little bit about what is the preparation. It's not just, oh, I don't have to cut this weight, I'm
Correct.
good. Like there's a whole, like John Jones took 3 years to go up another weight class, right? So talk to about like that whole situation of finding somebody that's not off the couch, the preparation that you put in for a different fighter, and then fighting at a different weight.
Yeah. So the big narrative of him being on 48 hours notice is misleading because he fought the week before, got a knockout in 50 seconds.
Right.
Okay, so
no damage.
Yes, let's talk about this knockout as well. He knocked out a guy named Billy Brand who fought on Contender Series for the UFC before. So he fought UFC level talent and knocked him out on 50 seconds. With that being said, 50-second fight, he takes virtually no damage, and he put himself through a whole fight camp. So he went through a whole fight camp and then had a week to decompress and then came and fought me 10 pounds above my weight class. So that's a misleading narrative. He had just knocked out a guy that was very, very good, and he was in shape. He was still in fight shape. It takes 5 to 7 days to lose the first layer of explosive power after a fight or after a workout, and that means he still had it at the point that we fought. Also, the weight cut is a big thing. And maybe this is a learning lesson for myself too. Maybe I should have argued or negotiated for a weight other than 45. Maybe tell him meet me at 140, right? Like that was suggested to me. Or I could have said, no, 135, I'm on track to make 135. Like those are things in hindsight that I could have used. But again, he finishes his fight. He has a week of decompression, eating good, getting his weight about himself. And that whole week, brother, if you know what an MMA weight cut looks like, bro, I'm eating very little food. Yeah. I'm eating next to no carbs. At that point in my cut, I've had no electrolytes for like 4 or 5 days. My weight was already so low that the night before weigh-ins, the UFC Performance Institute made me a smoothie. They weighed it. It was 1.5 pounds, and then they gave me a 0.5 pound of water to drink and intake before I went to sleep to try to get my weight back up. And I still weighed in at 143. Mm-hmm. So like to say I was like, brother, I was pretty much on weight. I was pretty much at 135, and then they moved it up to 145, which I didn't even make 145. I made 143. Fight a guy that was walking definitely heavier than me at the time, was definitely more recovered from a week of rest than me on a week of, eating what I could and going through the weight cut and stresses of a fight week. So the 48 hours notice thing is only being used in his favor rather than mine.
Right. And that's not to take away from him.
Yeah, of course. Like, but there are a lot of things that people aren't addressing that definitely impacted me as well with 48 hours notice. And then this is another thing too, right? And I won't I'll say it without trying to make it seem like, it's spiteful, but as well, he's getting flowers for taking the fight on 48 hours notice, right?
Correct.
They call a guy that was dying to get in the UFC and tell him you're in the UFC if you fight on 48 hours notice, win or lose, right?
Right.
I don't know too many people that's not taking that
opportunity.
I would
take that chance.
Now, they call me and say 48 hours notice, we gonna throw you a wild card, we gonna move it up 10 pounds, and you still jeopardizing putting your undefeated streak on the line. Are you gonna do it?
Right.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Dana White had a press conference after the fight. You know what he said? He said, I talked to Ethan Ewing. He said, I told him whether he win or lose, for making this fight happen, I'm sending you something extra in the mail on Monday.
Yeah.
But I got half a check. I went home with half a check, 10% to management, 10% to my coaches. I paid for plane tickets, my team, my wife. I brought my baby with me.
Yep.
You understand? Like I had to pay for food throughout the week and stuff like that, bro. I went home with the smallest check I've had since I fought in the UFC. I made more money fighting locally in Augusta off ticket sales than I went home with off of fighting at Madison Square Garden. And nobody is, it's like the favor of the 48 hours, the favor of all the things that had to be done to take a fight on 48 hours notice. Like it's only being used in his favor and not mine. And it's kind of heartbreaking. And it's not that I feel like y'all owe me money, y'all owe me recognition. They don't. But it just sucks that the game unfolds this way in this kind of situation. And I get the short end of the stick. That's all.
And here's the thing too. If you win that fight, right? It's like, he beat a guy on the narrative. He beat a guy on 48 hours notice.
Of course.
Like, you really were in a no-win situation.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, how does that help, or does it motivate you? Like, oh, y'all gonna do? Okay, I'm about to show you what's up. Does it put a chip on your shoulder, or you're like, you know what? That is what it is. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
No, it put a chip on my shoulder. It put a chip on my shoulder. In a good way though.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen. as easy as it could be for me to be spiteful towards the fan base and like the critics and all that stuff, I'm not. I know what I'm dealing with a lot better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's funny, this morning, I was sitting over there with my baby. And letting them set up all the equipment for the podcast and stuff like that. And Terrence Bud Crawford just retired. He put out a 5-minute retirement video with like a monologue for the first minute and a half. And then the back end was him thanking everybody.
Oh, wow.
I literally watched it like an hour or two ago. And he said, you know, I fought not for the money, not for the belts, but I had this burning desire to prove y'all wrong, to keep showing up and showing y'all that I can do what y'all said I couldn't. And like, brother, that fire, I know it now. Like, I know that fire now. Because I went from being, brother, people, like, I hate to say it, but people honestly thought I was better than I was. Like, I'm not saying I'm not who they thought I was, but they thought I was untouchable. Like, you know, that's what comes with such a fantastic start. I get it, but they forget you're human. They forget that you can hit somebody with that right hand and they can survive, right? And when it happens, like, oh, the doubt creeps in. All the people that started to bet on you start to doubt you again, start to say you old again, start to say that you're a one-trick pony. And like I said, brother, warranted criticism, but I feel that fire. I feel that desire, and I cannot wait to get put in that octagon again. And every person that said that I should go back to welding. Every person that said that the hype train is over. Every person that said that I was a one-trick pony, I get to show them you are wrong. I get to walk away with my full paycheck, with my hand raised, another bonus, right? Because I know that I can, and I can't wait. I can't wait to show it. What
was the reaction, or when you come back to Augusta, right? You put on for Georgia. You put on for Georgia. Like I said, I was in the comments like, yo, y'all ain't gonna say that to his face. Hell, y'all won't even say it to my face. Like, of course. Y'all come and fight me if you think, like, you know, people just talking all types of shit about it, right?
Right.
What was the reception like from the home team, from people in Augusta, people in Georgia?
Brother, Augusta loves me. Maybe too much. Maybe too much. Honestly, bro, it was amazing, bro. You know, they gave me some time, obviously, to shake back. But bro, the local news station immediately asked me to come on. You know what I mean? They put me on the platform. They wanted to talk to me. They still uplifted me and celebrated me just for the year I've had and the fact that I did go out and fought at Madison Square Garden. I said this before, but like, you know, everybody talks about when you lose, not as many people hit you up. Bro, my phone, it went crazier. Like 100%. I know for sure now, because all the people that did wait to give me a little bit of time then reached out. Bro, so many people reached out and were so proud of me, so happy that, you know, I've done what I've done in this year, that I fought at Madison Square Garden, and that they know that what's next is about to be crazy, because it will be, man. They know who I am. They know how I am. They know how I train. And man, I'm so excited to, you know, get us back in the win column.
Like I hit you up immediately, and I was like, "That's a hell of bro." I watched you I watched you on the projector. I had the whole thing going. I was yelling at the TV like, "Get him!" And then I can't remember. It was either right before or afterwards. Like, didn't the city of Augusta ended up doing something for you?
Not for. So they have had. Bro, they've done multiple things for me after other fights like that, but since the Madison Square Garden one, it's only been the news interview that I did.
Oh, okay.
But they've recognized me at City Hall multiple times. They gave me a letter from the mayor. It's been so many things that they've done in Augusta for me. It's been great.
Like, what people who, first of all, my goal one day is to do one fight.
Really?
I just want to do one.
Wow. Okay.
Not MMA. It's going to be
a boxing match? Kickboxing. Wow. Okay.
I want to do one.
I love that.
And either I'm getting knocked out or I'm knocking somebody else out.
For the kill.
Either way,
going for the kill.
I'm 100% cool with it.
I love that.
100% cool with it, because most people never even step in. You know what I'm saying? To just step in, put you in the top 1%.
Small percentage.
Right?
Small percentage.
To fight at the highest level in New York City. Like, Ariel talked about this. This isn't like some fight night card. At the Performance Center with a couple hundred people. 15,000, 20,000 people are there. Bro, you understand, to lose on that level is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
To be there in that scenario, it's like, bro, hey, I'm gonna go. Like, most people don't understand what it's even like to be in that situation. Right. And so for me, I want to say I appreciate you. Thank you for putting on for Georgia.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting on for Augusta. Like, I'm not from here, but I claim, you know what I'm saying? I claim, like, hey,
ClayCo 706, same
exactly,
thing, brother, for sure.
Exactly.
Mad love.
There's some comments. I think my team sent you some things for you to read and kind of react.
Number one from Toto's car detailing. Fucking up my parlay, bro.
So wait. Explain for people who may not know what a parlay is. What is he talking about, or what are they talking about?
So nowadays in gambling, you have parlays, right? And you can bet on multiple outcomes on a night of events, right? So say you got a fight card and you bet on 3 fights. You can say this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna lose, this guy's gonna win.
Right.
If all 3 of these happen, your parlay is a winner.
Right.
And you usually take home a good amount of money off of a smaller bet because you have so many things that have to happen, right?
Correct. Yep.
I was the lock on a lot of people's parlay. And what that means is people have, risks they take.
Yep.
But like they have certain ones that's like, this is a low risk, this is a lock.
Right.
If you make a parlay, lock this one, it's gonna win. Brother, I was people's locks because of what I did in my past couple fights. So obviously somebody like him probably lost a good bit of money on me. But to be honest, look, sorry. Right? I hate that I lost your money because I hate that I lost. Right.
I'm pretty sure you hate losing more than they hate losing that money.
Thanks for letting me know, but it is the nature of the beast, brother. So that's all I can say. 2, Irogats, head back to the trade, buddy. Listen, brother, thank God I got a trade to go back to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. To be honest, I don't think I have to head back, but if I did, I could. They treat me like a god on a job site at this point, you know what I mean? So if I did, it'd be all right. 3 from HH, don't know what to call that. He says, you better return to that. One of many comments saying the same thing. Again, thankful that I got something I can return to if I had to. And brother, I loved being a pipe fitter. I loved welding. I loved being productive, and it's a good living, bro. So if I actually had to go back to support my family, bro, we'd be happy. We'd be all right.
If we're gonna make sure this doesn't happen,
right? Of course.
If you suffered an injury that caused your career to end shortly, your family, you're not gonna let your family starve.
Absolutely not.
You still got you have skills, that you can use,
and to be honest, I think I have options after fighting that would keep me out of the trade. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I'll be all right. Let's see. 4, it says anonymous expert. Anonymous. That's not uncommon at all.
Right.
But anonymous expert. Bro, you don't even need to be fighting. You doing well. I don't know what he mean by that. I mean, I am doing good. Life is good, right? I can't complain, but I should be fighting. Yeah, for sure. Fighting is my passion. Yeah. Fighting is my biggest money maker right now.
Right.
And I think I got a bright future in it. So
for sure.
I stick to it. And then GSXR, a fan of you, not your record. No Diddy. Oh man, that's sweet. Thank you, brother. Yeah. I appreciate that. Look, it's people like that that definitely help after the loss, because there, like I said, the overwhelming majority is positive, but the negative ones do cut you pretty deep.
Yeah.
So when people like that do come to you and tell you that they are a fan of you and not your record, it goes a long way, bro. There were fans that DM me, bro. They told me they cried when I lost. Brother, that made me want to cry that they cried. You understand? That they are so inspired by me, that they love me so much, that there is a literal emotional crash, to see me fail. I think that in itself is powerful to show that, what I've done with my influence it's been strong.
People are invested in you.
A lot, brother.
People are invested in you. Yeah. And how do you carry that, knowing that people are so invested in you? How do you deal with, do you think about that? Do you try not to think about that? Do you carry it with a sense of, do you carry them I know people are invested in me, I'm gonna walk around like that? Or how do you deal with that?
So a little bit of everything, right? I try to, one, I respect it, right? Because I know that you know, maybe for lack of better words, but like with all these people invested in me, I owe them my best efforts in this gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
I owe them to make sure I'm doing everything I can to bring home those victories for us. Like, that's how I feel. But I also know that it's not about them. You know what I mean? Like, the reason I'm here was because I wanted to change my life and my family's life. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I try to balance the feeling of the pressure of performing and carrying myself like the person I'm supposed to be while still staying true to my initial reasons for getting in this. And that's so that me and my family can be straight.
Got it. Switching up completely. Where does the nickname The Machine and Walla come from?
Okay. So the Machine.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's two guys. I remember it so vividly, brother. One of the guys I was on the job site talked to about getting in shape and fighting, right?
Yeah.
He helped me out for so long, man. But I had my kickboxing fight scheduled. He texted me like a month before my kickboxing fight. He like, bruh, you should go by The Machine. And I literally texted him back. I was like, thanks, man. I'll keep that in mind. But I walked away. I said, no, that is corny, bro. I'm not going to buy The Machine.
Yeah.
And bruh, I'm so serious. The night before my weigh-ins, we was in the gym cutting weight. We had on sauna suits. We was playing games and running around and trying to sweat. And Pop said to me, he said, Walla, I got it. I said, what? He said, you gonna be Malcolm the Machine Wellmaker. I said, brother, it is what it is. I guess it's just meant to be.
Did those two people talk to each other?
They don't even know each other. They don't even know each other. So when that happened, bro, I was like, two people that I love and respect so much.
Yeah.
They want me to be the Machine. I was like, it's gonna make them happy, so I'll go buy it. And at the time, I'm getting into my first kickboxing match, bro. I'm not even thinking about the UFC. I'm not thinking about pro. And so I never thought Bruce Buffer would be saying The Machine, right?
Right.
Because if I thought that was going to be the vision, I might would have like fought for something cooler, right?
Yeah.
But nah, it's all right. You know, I let them have it. They take pride in the fact that they gave me The Machine.
Yeah.
And that's where that came from. Walla is actually a spinoff of a rap name I had back when I was younger. So me and all my friends always wanted to be rappers, right? All the kids want to be rappers. But I actually had a couple friends that was like good at rapping.
Yeah.
And you know, I started rapping and this is hilarious, bro. There was this day that me and my homeboys was chilling. I had a homeboy named Red. He was one of the best rappers I knew.
Yeah.
And this girl was texting me, and she made a joke. She was like, "You're cute like a koala, right?" And brother, Red got a hold of that. Bro, I'm so serious. Red got a hold of that. He was like, "Bro, I got it. You been looking for a rap name, bro. Your rap name gonna be K Walla." I remember that we was in the parking lot of Philly Cheesesteak Factory on Peach Orchard Road, because we used to go there as kids all the time and shoot pool on the little deck outside.
Yeah.
And bro, since that day, my rap name was K Walla, but my rap career was very short-lived.
Sure.
I ended up being a beat maker, and all my other friends kept rapping. And then we just stopped calling me K Walla, and they just started calling me Walla. So since like 13, 14, my friends just been calling me Walla, and it stuck. And I named my son Walla. So
bro,
yeah, that's where that came from.
Crazy.
That's the full-blown story. I've never told nobody the full-blown story on that.
Exclusive.
Yeah, that is the exclusive full-blown story.
That's wild because I'm sure like every neighborhood has its own code.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have nicknames.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And so it could be one thing. Like, for example, my wife's siblings, she has some younger siblings. And when I was dating her, I would go to church and stuff, and they would play soccer after church. And this one kid, he always wore a green shirt to play soccer. Bruh, his nickname became Slimy.
Oh my goodness. Because he probably couldn't shake it to save his life.
I know his name, but I really have to think about what his name is.
Because Slimy is all you see.
It's like he's saved in my contacts as Slimy.
That's so funny.
And so every time I introduce him to someone, it's like, yo, this is my guy Slimy.
Yeah.
And then my wife was like, you should use his real name. I don't even know his real name.
Right. It just don't associate. Yeah, that's right. That's so funny.
And especially with your boyfriends, with your dudes, with your homies, man, you could be one thing, you could be like, man, it'll be the most random stuff.
Anything.
Like, man, I really want a burger. Now you're burger your rest of your life.
Bro, the construction trade is horrible about that, bro. They will find the most embarrassing moment they can, and from that point on, bro, that's all you're gonna be named. You know what I mean? So it's always good, bro.
Like
always good. I had an super old supervisor, bro. He was like almost 70 years old, right?
Yeah.
And this is at the last job I worked. His name Jimmy. I love this guy. But anyway, Jimmy, you know, he always got to wear his reading glasses, and my last name is Wellmaker. And one day it was when I didn't know him that well, and he mistakenly called me weld neck because you got like weld neck flanges. You got, you know, that's a term in the trade. And brother, for the next 2 years, everybody on the job, they was like, weld neck. Like, you know what I mean? That was just one of the funny things that happened. But construction is hilarious, bro.
I think it goes across all businesses, all trades, all everything, right? Because when I was prosecuting cases, right, we would nickname cases. So, I can't remember if it was mine or my trial partner. She had a case. It was a guy that went into Kroger and he stole a bunch of steaks.
Oh my goodness.
And he stole them by putting them like underneath his pants.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, he got arrested. His first court appearance, the public defender comes up to us and is like, hey, what are we doing with meat pants?
Oh my goodness.
And we're like, what are you talking about? And then we read it, we're like, bruh, from that point forward,
that was that whole case.
That was the whole case. Meat pants.
Oh my goodness.
Meat pants.
All right, the lawyer thing, right?
Yeah.
Because an injury lawyer, so I know we talked a little bit about how you didn't grow up with a lot.
Correct.
You wanted to have money.
Correct.
And your thought process was lawyers make money, I'll become a lawyer.
Basically.
So how did that journey actually unfold from the thought to becoming a lawyer, and how did it become being an injury lawyer? How did that work out?
So I'm not talented enough to be an actor. I can't sing. Not quite good enough to be in film. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't draw a circle to save my life. So it had to be something where I didn't have to necessarily use my hands, right?
Yeah.
So my family was pushing me towards being an engineer.
Okay.
And I'm good at math like you.
Yep.
Super good at math.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I specifically remember watching The Pelican Brief with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise plays a lawyer.
Okay.
My dad was a huge John Grisham fan. Like he read a lot of books. John Grisham wrote The Pelican Brief. They made it into a movie.
Okay.
And then A Few Good Men came out, which is another lawyer movie.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. Like you're defeating people with your reasoning and your logic. And I was like, well, shit, I'm smart. I can do that.
Yeah.
And bro, this was in like elementary school. I was like, I'm going to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Like elementary, I'm like, I'm going to be a lawyer.
Okay.
And so from that mindset, I was like, okay, well, what do you need to be a lawyer? People think you need to be super smart. Right. Not necessarily true. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I just happen to be smart, or able to put things together.
Yeah.
And so starting elementary school and middle school, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get good grades. Because my grandmother would pay me $10 for every A that I got.
That's right. That's a motivation.
Yeah. And when you're a little kid in middle school, like $10, bro, you can't tell them nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I had a Nintendo, then I bought a Sega. And so I fed my video games with good grades. Okay. That's how I was able to buy the game system, buy the games for it. It's like, if you want to play video games, make good grades.
Right.
Then in high school, it's like, well, I want a Nintendo 64.
Right.
Best gaming console on the planet. And so I just kept making good grades. So it was a two-part thing. It's like, I can make money with good grades. I can play video games with good grades. And then also, you know, in order to be a lawyer, you need good grades. Yeah. So it's kind of a three-pronged thing.
Right.
And then in undergrad, I went to Georgia Southern my first year.
That's funny.
Went to Georgia Southern. I actually transferred because of how big of a party school it is.
Brother. Yeah, you know, preaching to the choir.
You know,
right. Yeah, it's hard to focus around there.
Yeah. You got the Ave and all that,
brother. Like, yeah.
Trust me,
it's
man,
a good time.
I did my reach. Did my research on
That's
them.
right.
And so, funny story. I took bowling as a class.
Yeah, they still had that when I went.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they had that. I think they had horse riding as an elective as well. They had a bunch of crazy classes. Yeah.
So I ended up transferring from Georgia Southern to Clayton State, which is a local college, and then Clayton State to UGA.
Okay.
Crazy story. My car got stolen during final exams when I was at home, so I couldn't make finals. So I had to end up withdrawing from UGA. Finally settled at Georgia State. Graduated from there. Couldn't afford to go to law school.
Yeah.
And so I took a year off and I was working, ironically, at a law firm doing data entry. And I'm like, bro, there's more to it than this.
Yeah.
Studied for the LSAT, which is the entrance exam for law school.
Okay.
Didn't do too hot, but did enough. I had a strong GPA in undergrad. Applied. They let me in. I almost didn't make it because the student loans was going through a transition during the Obama administration from private lenders to it all being public. Thank God I got it situated, and boom, I was there. And I never intended to do injury law.
Okay.
My first job was basically being like a public defender.
Okay.
We did misdemeanors instead of felonies.
Right.
But like people who couldn't afford a lawyer, I was assigned to their cases.
Okay.
Yep. And people will try you, bro.
What you
People
mean?
will try. They were like, "How long you been a lawyer? How many cases you tried?" I'm like,
That's
"Bro,
that's getting a free lawyer?
yeah, that's getting a free lawyer." I'm like, "How many cases you done tried?"
Right, yeah,
like,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
your freedom is in jeopardy here,
Right.
not mine.
How did you like doing that for the time period?
So at the time, I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to be a prosecutor. I want to be the ones.
Your ambitions was taking away the joy of the job you had at the time.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
But then once I did it for like 5-6 months, I was like, "Oh, this is dope." Like,
You started enjoying it?
Yeah, I started doing like, "Hey, they said you did this, but let me show you how we're gonna beat this case."
Really?
Oh yeah.
And you enjoyed
Bro.
finding a way to be good at what you did.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
like
awesome.
it would be a thing when my clients were like, "All right, bro, this is the setup. This is what they're saying,
Yeah.
but they don't know what you know because you were
Right.
the only one there."
Of course.
So tell me, and then it became a game. Like it became a competition in the
Yeah,
office.
yeah.
Who could get the most dismissals?
Really?
Who could get the most not guilties?
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were smoking it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was helping other lawyers. My one of my law school classmates, she ended up working with me. We shared an office together,
Right.
and she had a case. And bro, I was all in on her case.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're gonna win this." And kind of find out, like, she ended up winning it because of the work that we put in together.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then after that, I became the prosecutor. I was in the DA's office.
Dream come true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought,
You finally getting to where you've been aiming at, right?
Bruh, caught the white whale.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I finally got it. And it was all politics, man.
Really?
Yeah, I had no self-esteem. Like I was down on my, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have the confidence that I have now. Like my baby girl was just born.
Okay.
I had just lost my dad, lost my granddad. So I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? The male
support system
figure to teach me, how do you be a dad?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do you be a good husband? How do you do this? And it messed me up.
Yeah.
It messed me up. But pulled out, came through, and an opportunity came where one of my classmates, who was a partier in law school, she hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you want to do personal injury and make some real money?" And I'm like, "Man, I had my daughter, I had my baby son." I was like, "YOLO, let's do it." So I quit my job, started doing that in 2017, and haven't looked back since.
So like, obviously the quality of life wasn't that great as a prosecutor.
Right.
But the money wasn't that great either.
No.
Really?
No.
So like when you got the offer for injury lawyer, it was a no-brainer. Like it was like, go.
So I was making $68,000
As a prosecutor?
as a prosecutor.
Wow.
This was in 2015, 2016, right?
Yeah.
My wife was stay-at-home mom with the kids by our choice.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Hey, you focus on the kids. I got this."
Yep.
And we were surviving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the girl hit me up. I actually took a pay cut
Initially.
Okay. She was like, "I'm gonna pay you 60, but I'm gonna give you bonus incentives, right? Based on your performance." And so, as you know, sometimes you got to bet on yourself.
Absolutely.
You got to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
So I bet on myself.
Took a risk.
Bro, ain't never looked back.
Yeah. And
Brother,
it's been good.
Ain't never looked back. We doing good.
That's good. That's
We're
good.
doing real
That's
good.
blessings.
Man.
That's awesome.
Absolutely, man.
So another thing that I really wanted to get into, right? So obviously you're well known as an injury lawyer, right? That's your profession. But I feel like you are almost more well known for the work you do in the community, right? So forgive me, maybe I don't have the better words to describe it, but in particular, you work with the Black community a lot, right? So like, how did you end up and like, this is another thing too. There's a lot of people who work with Black communities, like white people, right? Who work with Black communities. But like, brother, you look like you belong there. you understand what I'm saying? So like, tell me, like, how is it that you just have such a strong connection to the community? Like, what is this fire behind you to so heavily contribute to it? And like, just give me the backstory on that, because like I said, I feel like you're almost more well known for that than you are for your profession.
Yep. So the last interview I did, my first question to my guest was, "Am I too white to represent ClayCo?"
Really?
Yeah.
And what did they say?
Hell no. Hell no.
Okay. Just had to make sure.
So where I grew up, Clayton County, it has the airport, right? The busiest airport in the world at times, right? The demographics changed. I've been there since 1983, right? Next week will be my 42nd birthday. I'll have lived in the same area for 42 years, my whole life, bro.
Yeah.
So I was there in the 80s. And then in the 90s, when Atlanta got the bid for the Olympics, they redeveloped Atlanta, right? So they pushed a lot of people that were in the lower income areas, they pushed them south. Well, Clayton, we call it ClayCo, is right there. So all the people from the projects and the hoods of Atlanta came to Clayton. So you saw the demographics change.
Right.
In the 80s, Clayton County was probably 50 to 70% white. After the Olympics, it was like 60 to 70% black.
Wow.
Right? So I grew up, I don't really remember elementary school. It wasn't a noticeable difference to me, but I just went to school with whoever I went to school with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for us, for the local people, it's not a black thing, a white thing, a Hispanic thing, or an Asian thing.
Right.
It's a Clayton County thing.
Yeah.
It's a Clayton County thing.
Yeah.
And so I just put on for where I'm from. It just so happens to be that the overwhelming majority of the people are black.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? It just happened to
work
work
out. So it's not the
way.
black community, it's the ClayCo community. And it just so happens that because of the way that things transpired, the ClayCo community is predominantly black.
Correct.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
And most of my friends, like I joke, it's kind of a joke, but I don't have really any white friends.
Really?
Yeah. So my wife is Mexican.
Okay.
Yep. My best friend in the whole world that we were talking about off camera is black.
Right.
The church that I go to is all Hispanic.
That's
like they don't even
hilarious.
speak English.
That's crazy.
They don't even speak English. So I speak Spanish fluently as well.
Right.
And then growing up from high school to pretty much law school, most of my friends were Vietnamese or Asian.
Wow.
We have, so it's a very diverse community.
And you just had phases of your life where you've dealt with all of them so personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked that question, like, people see me and I lean into it, right? Because you don't see people who cater to the black community or the minority community.
Correct.
You don't see them actually in the community. They just want the business.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
That's why I say you look like you belong there.
Like,
you look like you love being there and the people love you being there.
I lean into it. I'm like, when I get on stage at an event or something, I'm like, I'm from here. I wear my ClayCo Till I Die shirt.
Right.
I'm like, you don't see too many 6'2" white dudes represent where we are.
Yeah, correct.
Right? And
you stick out like a sore thumb sometimes. Right.
And I lean
to the outside looking in.
Correct. And I lean into it.
Right.
Because the people that think that I am trying to culture, like, brother, I don't put on FUBU. I don't put on stuff like that. Like, I don't put on these big gaudy chains and all this other shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I dress how I dress. And if it so happens to line up with the community, that's what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
And so I think, and it's so cool for you to see it as an outsider from the Clayton community. If you're picking up on that, I know the people in the community are picking up on that, and that's why they rock with me.
Of course. Yeah. That's so like I said, when my manager contacted me about the opportunity to work with you.
Yeah.
Like the biggest thing that he emphasized was like, brother, he gives back to the community. Like, I really think you'll enjoy working with this guy. And when I looked at your page, I was like, no brainer. Let's do it. Yeah. So that's, like I said, I think more people might know you for not just your community work, but the community that you're working with more than they know you for your profession. And people like me, brother, like that means more than anything. So, I love to see it. That's something I aspire to do with the success that I plan on having.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Bro, my goal, people ask me, what's the goal? Do you want a big firm? Do you want to have millions of dollars? And I put this on social media on another video. My goal is to have a library named after me.
That'd be sick.
That'd be so
That'd be sick,
right?
Yeah.
Like, just imagine like your kids and their kids and their kids, and they ride by and see your name on a library.
Because you did something for that community. That's what that means if you get that. Yeah.
Not only that, but it's an institution of learning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
And my inspiration is like, there was nobody when I was growing up doing what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a particular person or a particular business that was, hey, we're going to sponsor you to go on your band trip. Hey, we're going to sponsor your athletic program. Right. You had the big corporations, Coca-Cola, Chick-fil-A, and that's great.
Right, of course.
But there wasn't a face to put with it. They were just corporations.
Yes.
I'm trying to be the face.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You personally want to impact the not just the journey of the need to meet those financial things they don't have, but like they look at you and they say, man, like this is somebody who succeeded in their journey and gave back. So like that success hopefully pays forward in what they do. Cause that's exactly what I want to do. Like I hope people like the youth behind me blows out of the water what I did, and then they come and pick up somebody else, and it all happens over and over and over again.
Exactly. You know? And not only that, but they can see this dude, like I grew up just like y'all did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not impossible. The way out or the way up isn't just rapping.
Right.
It's not just basketball
100%.
Or football.
100%.
Like there's academic ways out, and then you turn around and then you bring the next wave. And if everybody brings 2 people, if I bring 2 people, then those 2 people bring 2, then those bring 2.
It just keeps. Yeah, absolutely.
It keeps going up, man.
Yep.
It keeps going up.
And it's funny because, you know, I actually feel that particular way about the construction trade, right? So like pipe fitting maybe in particular, I feel like IBEW maybe not so much, but pipe fitting in particular, like the amount of people from my background that know about the trade, that are in the trade and successful in it is much smaller than other demographics, you know? So like, when you get into the trade as a young black kid, like you kind of latch onto the other young black kids in the apprenticeship, and then like you tell your little brother about it and they tell their little brothers about it, and you try to bring that knowledge forward because we feel like you can't make that kind of money without being a doctor, but it's people making that kind of money in like work boots. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And once we found that out, like, you know, I tried to give it to as many people as I can. And I'm working with some schools in the area and trying to let people, you know that, hey, you can join the union, you can learn to weld, and you can make some real good money. Bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, there's
you already
money,
know.
There's money to be had in that.
Yeah,
there's
you
money to be
know.
had. And the thing is, too, oh, man, we could talk about, like, this is going way off what we planned, but that's cool.
Yep.
I try to teach financial like education to the younger people, right? Like for example, I tell the kids in high school, there's no such thing as no experience. Right. I'm like, if you have younger siblings, you have management experience. Do you help them do you help them get dressed? Right. Do you help feed them? Do you help them with their homework? Do you help organize like their rooms? That's literally management experience. Right. So when they do their resume, I'm like, you have management experience on there. Because it is not a 9-to-5 management experience, but just imagine you got 3 siblings and you help do all those things. Those same skills. Yeah, you running the show. Those same skills in your family, you just apply it to the workforce and get paid for it. Right. So, that, you know, I forgot where you're going. Oh, yeah. I tell you don't have to be a lawyer or a doctor to make a lot of money. Right. The key is, you know, bro, you could go and be a lawyer if you wanted to. That's if crazy. You wanted to, you really could. Yeah. The only difference is to be a pipe fitter or an electrician. There's no barrier to entry. You just go and sign up for it. Right. Now you have to do some things and qualify and stuff like that. Right. But like, there's no barrier to entry. It doesn't cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. Right. Me, I went to a trade school. Law school is just a trade school. It just has a shit ton of obstacles you have to jump over to get there. You have to go to undergrad. Yep. You have to go to law school. Yep. You have to take an entrance exam. Yep.
All these different ethics exams that you got.
All these things that you got to go over. And most people are like, I don't want to do all that. Right. It doesn't necessarily, like I said, it doesn't mean that you're smart. It just means you're willing to jump over all these obstacles to
that makes
get
sense.
there.
That makes sense.
And most people don't want to do it. So the profession gatekeeps people who are not really committed to doing it.
Yeah, for sure. If you look at the path to be a lawyer, bro, that's enough for me to turn around and say, let me find something else to do. Exactly. You know what I mean? Or try to, like you said, play basketball or rap or do something else like that. But it's different ways to get it, for sure. Yeah.
Like there are people who, like, for me, all throughout my 20s and early 30s, like, bro, I was losing money. I was in school, I was taking on debt, and I wasn't making money. Right. So people making 40, 50 grand for 8 years, they were way ahead of me.
Yes.
You know
you had a gap you had to catch up on.
I had to catch up on them. It just so happened that the trajectory that I was on, was like rocket fuel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially with you not even knowing injury lawyer was the route that was going to be taken.
Right.
Yeah.
I was doing government work.
That's crazy.
And it's such a blessing, bro. It's such a blessing that it wasn't appreciated. Like I wasn't appreciated as a human being. That led me. It's like you've done podcasts where you talk about all the little things that had to line up for you to get where you are. When you talk to those dudes about, hey, I'm looking kind of fluffy. I'm looking kind of fluffy. I want to go to the gym. Little did you know at that time, just wanting to not be a little chunky would lead to you fighting at Madison Square Gardens.
Brother. It's absurd. Like it's like you roll the dice and how many times does it fall on 7 for you to be like, how is this happening? And that's like what I look at my life like. It's crazy. So it's crazy to think that you have a similar experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, man. I think that's why this makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the link up.
So you mentioned you have a little boy.
Yep.
Right? How 8, 9 months now?
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
And your little boy got to go with you to NYC.
Yeah.
Probably is never going to remember that.
Nope.
Too young.
Never.
Do you plan on having growing a bigger family? And then I don't want to put you on the spot because people are like, you have one kid. When are you going to have another?
Facts,
when are you going to have a little girl? Not like that, but like if you could write your own story, right? How would you write it? Do you want a big family? Are you and your wife good where you are? Do you want to stay in Augusta? Do you want to move somewhere else? Like, what is the future? If you could write the story, what does it look like?
So the kids are on hold for now because my wife, she fights, right? So obviously she's been out of competition because she had the baby and everything. Sure. But she is dying to get back in, obviously, because while she was pregnant and while she's been a mother is when the gym has grown so much and I've been so wildly successful and she's got this fire to compete and she's good, bro. She's 6-0 in kickboxing with 5 knockouts. Ooh. But she's good.
Yeah.
So she wants to get into MMA. So she wants to hold off on kids for a while and she's young. She's 24.
Okay.
So that's going to be the immediate plan. I don't know if she'll get the bug after she fights for a while to have kids, but I would love to have a lot of kids. But if I don't, brother, I got blessed with a baby boy. That's the man's dream. You know, so
yes, sir.
I'm super happy with having my boy. I don't think he's gonna be lonely, man. We always bring him to the gym. It's always kids up here running around having a good time. We're gonna have him involved in the community and everything like that. I would love to have more.
Do you want your boy to train MMA?
So he will train MMA, right? For sure. But I won't force him to compete though.
Gotcha.
So those are two majorly different things.
For sure.
I want him to be a part of the community and family I have here.
Yeah.
I want him to learn discipline, respect, and the method that I learned it through was MMA, right? But brother, if he wants to be a basketball player, bro, if he wants to be a video game streamer, bro, I'll let him, right? But the only thing is I will make sure that work ethic is there, discipline is there. Because with any profession that you choose, that is the route to success. I don't care how fun it is. If it's gaming, you still have to be disciplined. You still have to have a route to success. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And then as far as my vision, I don't mind living in Augusta for the rest of my life, brother. I don't.
Yeah.
I honestly am not dying to move anywhere. Even while I'm fighting now, I'm not dying to go and be with these big camps in different places or be, more involved in hot spaces for fighting. I do want to travel a lot more when I get older.
Yeah.
I've never traveled. So I never traveled as a kid pretty much ever. Fighting is where I started taking most of my trips at for competition. Mm-hmm. And I still have yet to take any major vacations. Every vacation I've ever taken has been a fight trip. So I want to take some trips and vacations later in life. But I want to stay in Augusta, involved in the community, involved in my gym, and giving back. And raise my kids in the same setting I was raised in. I think it'd be beautiful.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yo, appreciate your time.
But wait.
Oh, wait.
I want to know your vision though. So I know your end game, right? You said you wanted to have a library named after you, and I kind of understand some of the things that you care about. But when you riding off into the sunset, what are the checkpoints that you have to have done that fill that box?
So my daughter's 12 and my son is 9. And just to bounce off of what you said, my son wants to be a streamer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's really good at Fortnite.
Wow.
Bro, I play Fortnite. I'm horrible.
Me too.
But it would make me so mad to be playing Fortnite and then my son comes up and then kills you and then starts teabagging you. I would, bro, if I knew, if I was that other person, I'd be throwing my headset.
Of course,
like, ain't no way a little 8-9-year-old kid.
That's right.
But the checkpoints in my life is if I get my kids to a point to where they have graduated high school and they're either in a trade or they're starting their own business or they're going to college and they're debt free. If I can get them through college debt free, or I can get them into a business and they're debt free, like that will be that's kind of like my success. Big benchmark.
Yeah.
Because, bro, law school is expensive. Like, not only, like I said earlier, not only was I not working, not making money, I was taking on debt. If I can get my kids to a point to where they're starting off their semi-dumbass life with no debt,
right?
That's a huge dub, because most people, they just take on debt. It's not about how much money you make. It's how much money do you owe, right? Because again, remember, if you gave your son $100 right now, anything, if he could speak, anything he wanted, he could buy.
Yeah.
But if you give you and me $100, it's like, hey, that $100 goes to gas, light,
right,
water,
there.
Right, it's gone.
Yeah.
So the more I can set my kids up to not be a slave to other obligations, bro, what more? Because I'm not going to set them up with a huge trust fund and stuff like that. Like the money that I'm making is for me to enjoy. Yeah. My obligation is to get them to a point where they can be successful for themselves.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So that for me, that's what that looks like.
I got you.
And honestly, I hope to financially be able to retire or right at 45.
Really?
Yeah, I've got
you close.
I've got 3 years.
That's crazy.
I've got 3 years,
and that's a realistic goal for you.
It's a very if inshallah, if my business continues, I will hit that goal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that's a good life, bro.
Yeah, like
you can't complain about
like
that.
No debt, like house paid off, student loans paid off too, but like I work because I want to, not because I have to.
But you got security at that point. Like, wow.
Oh yeah. Like
that's sick.
Like, again, I don't know if we're going to air this, but for me, what it looks like, if I have $4 million in the bank with no debt, you can draw 4% interest on 4%. That's $160K a year with no debt. I don't even know what I could spend.
That pays everything.
How could I possibly spend $160K a year? Like,
That's genius.
I'd have to pick up.
And then everything's paid off already. So
everything's paid off.
It's not like your living expenses are $160K.
No, living expenses would be like 20 grand a year.
And to be making over 6 figures off of your making money.
Correct.
And that's like guaranteed. You're not like in the market risking it.
Yeah. Like that's just sitting in a very regular checking account.
But that's genius as hell, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like,
I'm so happy for you.
Bro, I would have to pick up a cocaine habit to spend that much money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm very happy for you, bro.
Like, that's
beautiful.
That's around 13K, and anybody could do it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just from my lifestyle. If I cut back on my lifestyle, I would only need like 2 million.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy what's like, and it's touchable. I know we done. I don't want to get into too much. But like, it's crazy because like, when you think about something that's a dream, right? Yeah. Like it starts off, the UFC was a dream at one point. And then it became like a goal. And then it became a progressive plan that I just had to take steps to do. And it's crazy that something like retiring at 45 with $4 million making money to sustain my life, bro, that is a dream. Like, even for me right now, right? I'm still at the point where that's a dream, but to you, it's
a plan.
Like you a few steps away.
Yeah.
But that is mind blowing as hell, bro. That's incredible, bro.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I'm telling you, it can be that for you too. It will get there.
Yeah, 100%.
It will get there.
100%.
Like, I promise you it will, man. And that's what I try to tell people. That's what I try to tell people is like, you know what I'm saying? It's so doable. Yeah. Like, bro, I quit a job making $250,000 a year. Yeah. And everybody thought I was crazy. Cause where I'm from, probably similar to where you're from, like, you don't quit a job making $250 a year.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I'm like, $250.
Yeah. You can, I ain't worried about
that's
that.
Cute. I ain't worried about that.
That's
you know
crazy.
what I'm saying? But what I do is, and it all ties back to the beginning, the better my business does, the more I'm able to spend in the community.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
what happens
100%.
is that's my marketing campaign is I'm not the lawyer that's taking all this money and I'm living great. I take the money from the insurance companies and I give it back to the people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We do turkey giveaways. We do bike giveaways. We do toy giveaways. We do feed the community. We do clothes.
Right.
Bro, there's so much stuff that we do that I don't even post because, you know what I'm saying? Just like
Of course.
in your religion, you don't do these things for the clout.
Yeah.
You do them because it's on your heart and it's the right thing to do.
That's right.
But at the same time, for me, when I film these giveaways and these community events, it's to let people know it's okay. You can come and do these too.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if you're just giving your time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just able to give the money, but I also show up in person.
It matters.
And that matters way more because there's a lot of businesses, law firms especially, they just sponsor it with their money and they never come out and meet the people.
That's right.
Like people can actually come out and meet me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't just hear your name, they see your face.
And for you, it's the same thing. When people see you, that means way more than any type of donation you could ever make.
That's right.
So man, I appreciate you what you're doing for
Absolutely.
Augusta,
Thank
the
you,
state
brother.
of Georgia,
Thank you.
putting it on, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
this
sir.
was the legendary link,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Mad love.
All right.